Sunday on Sun Sports as the American League's defending champions, the Tampa Bay Rays, play host to the Toronto Blue Jays. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to an afternoon here at Tropicana Field with Todd Callis. I'm Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard with Watson along for the ride this afternoon as well. Rays winners last night. It was a return of the offense. 8 runs, 12 hits, Todd, and in the middle of that, Evan Longoria continues to swing a very hot bat.
Longoria told Whit Watson after the game he's feeling really comfortable right now, and it appears so. Look at what he's done during his 8-game hitting streak. 11 for 30, 7 runs batted in, 6 runs, driving the ball well to straightaway center field and occasionally the opposite way. And that's usually a sign when he's going well. 88 RBIs on the year. He continues to get the job done for the Rays. And if he's going well, that middle of the lineup always seems to be producing.
The Rays are now 4 games back in the wild card race, and Joe Madden the other day said they'll go as far as the starting pitching will take them. Well, this afternoon, Matt Garza, who's had a great deal of success against the Blue Jays, goes to the mound trying to recover from a subpar outing on the road in Anaheim.
Offensively, Carl Crawford versus Toronto, always solid. Pitching-wise, Matt Garza versus Toronto, unreal numbers. 5-2 as a Ray with a 0.83 ERA. His last 2 starts against Toronto here at Tropicana Field, he is not allowed a run. He matches up very well with these Blue Jays, and after a tough outing in Anaheim, you would expect Garza to bounce back with a strong performance today.
So the pitching matchup, it will be the right-hander Matt Garza on the hill for the Rays. Trying to even his season's record, he is 7-8. Mark Zepchinski, a left-hander on the hill for the Toronto Ball Club. He is 1-3. This afternoon, the Rays go for the series win. Current series even at a game apiece. When we return, with Watson along as we begin our lesson on scoring a baseball game. Rays baseball in store just moments away. You buy Checkers, little place, big taste. By your Southeast Toyota dealer. Get all of the quality and reliability of a Toyota during Toyota's Best for Less sales event. Toyota, moving forward. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. Baseball in store this afternoon from Tropicana Field. The Rays play host to the Blue Jays, concluding their 3-game series. Right now, let's go to Whit Watson.
All right, Dwayne, thanks very much. Okay, it's a Kids Sunday. We're having lessons on keeping score. We've enlisted the help of Zach Watson, Natalie Drest, you'll notice, much better than we are. First thing we're going to talk about is position numbers, defensive position numbers. So, Zach, come on over. I've got the Rays lineup already carded. Right here, Jason Bartlett is a shortstop. So in that box, give me a 6, okay? A 6 for a shortstop. Crawford, the left fielder, will be number 7. The third baseman defensively is a number 5 for Longoria. Ben Zobrist is a second baseman. That is a number 4 in that box right there. Carlos Pena at first base, a number 3 right there. Come this way a little bit. Now the DH has no number, so you can leave that as just DH. Right fielder would be a 9. Up next will be Navarro, the catcher, position number 2. And the center fielder is B.J. Upton. That is position number 8. And that will help us score defensively throughout the rest of the ball game. Good job. Let's get Dwayne and get the Blue Jays lineup.
All right, thanks to Zach out there for a great job. Whit, thanks for providing that talent. And we'll take a look at the Blue Jays starting lineup. Marco Scutaro will be at shortstop. And you see on the left side of the lineup there, that's the 6. The number of his position. Aaron Hill at second. That's number 4. Adam Lynn will be in left field. Number 7. He'll in third. The first baseman. The 3 defensively is Lyle Overbay. Center field, Vernon Wells, number 8. The DH is Randy Ruiz. And then at third base, the position number 5 is Edwin Encarnacion. Rod Barajas will catch. He'll hit 8th. The defensive number 2, Joe Englert, is in right field, and he coincidentally will bat 9th.
Matt Garza on the mound for the Rays. 24th start of the year, 7-8 mark with a 3.80 ERA. Garza against the Toronto Blue Jays as a member of this Tampa Bay team. Unbelievable numbers, 5-2 with an 0.83 ERA the last 2 seasons. Last 2 starts here at Tropicana Field. Against this team, he is not allowed to run. He is chomping at the bit. As we start a little bit late this afternoon, they had the lineup cards being exchanged, and Garza was just waiting to get out there as he is trying to turn around after a bad outing in Anaheim against the Angels. Defensively for the Rays, you see the defensive numbers. Carl Crawford, B.J. Upton, Gabe Kapler. The infield, Evan Longoria, Jason Bartlett, Ben Zobrist, Carlos Pena. Behind the plate for the second game in a row is Gianni Navarro, and he will be catching the Rays right-hander, Matt Garza.
Joe Madden of the Rays running 62 and 54 on the year. 4 games back in the wild card. They chase the Boston Red Sox and the Texas Rangers in that wild card chase. The Rays' 3rd game of the series, 3rd game of a 9-game homestand, and there's Cito Gaston obscured by the roof of the dugout. His Blue Jays 55 and 60 for the year. And Marco Scutaro stepping in, the shortstop. Matt Garza set to go to work, and the first pitch of this game is a little bit high. 1 ball and no strikes. Just a couple minutes late with our first pitch. Scutaro continues to have a very good year for the Blue Jays out of the leadoff position. There's a strike marked out by Jim Joyce. 1-1. Jim Joyce calling the balls and strikes. Veteran umpire, better than 21 years of major league service. Big cut. And Scutaro missed the fastball. And a little momentum with that backswing, huh?
You don't often see a leadoff hitter take this big of a rip where he ends up in the other side of the batter's box. I mean, he twisted himself into the ground.
You know, some pitchers might take offense at that, and you can't blame them.
Well, it's weird because we were a little late starting, 140 start instead of 138. Scutaro still hadn't put on his batting gloves as he addressed the plate, so Garza has a couple reasons to be upset out.
Foul ball back, so the count holds at a ball and 2 strikes.
For Matt Garza, it's all about channeling that focus, that energy. He is a guy that works on a lot of adrenaline out there. Last time out, it didn't work in his favor, but if he can get going early, he can be as good as anyone.
This one outside. You know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with a hitter trying to hit the ball as far as he can or extra base hits, but something like that's a little akin to a pitcher striking out a hitter and then pulling the gun out of the holster. And there's the foul ball off his foot. Well, maybe the baseball gods are taking care of that right now.
That's one way to get back at him. A little two-seamer riding in on his hands, and he chops one off his foot. That's never a good way to start your afternoon.
So the count holds at 2-2.
Not sure if he's laughing or grimacing.
Yeah.
He's in some serious pain here. Jim Joyce has already got a clean plate, but he's going to clean the plate anyhow.
It's not because he's obsessive compulsive about cleanliness. He's just giving Scutaro more time, and boy, that hurts.
Look, I mean, Joyce is still hovering over the plate. Couldn't be any cleaner. Yeah, that was right off the ankle. You know when Jim Joyce is behind the plate. You don't even have to be watching. You can just listen. Those called strikes are distinctive.
All right, Scutaro's back in. Garza's ready. 2-2. Upstairs. So full count. Garza making his 24th start. And Scutaro fouls it back. He's been so good, Scutaro, in the leadoff spot for the Blue Jays. For this very reason, here he is, 3-2. He's already extended the at-bat out to 8 pitches. A guy who's really had to battle for regular playing time in the major leagues and has received it in Toronto and made the most of it. And again, a foul ball and a fastball.
Yeah, he's definitely a guy that can frustrate a starter. He works deep counts. He can foul off good pitches. This situation, you know, he's got Garza working hard. The game started 4 minutes ago. This could end up being a 4.5, 5 minute at bat before it's said and done.
Three-two, and a line drive foul down the left field side. You know, when you think of all the hitters in baseball and all the leadoff hitters, and there's some pretty good ones. Marco Scutaro leads all leadoff hitters in walks drawn. Well, that's impressive.
He sees a lot of pitches.
The 11th pitch of this at bat, and a foul ball again. So already dealing to the first hitter, and Garza is going to make at least a dozen pitches to the leadoff man.
Last year he walked 57 times in Scutaro, which was his career high. This year he's already got 68 walks. He's still got another 45 plus games to go.
3-2. And a foul ball again.
Saw that pitches per plate appearance average 404. Anything above 4 is solid. And he's going to raise that average here with already 12 pitches. This game started at 140. It's now 146. So between the little delay when he fouled a pitch off his ankle and this at bat, he's working on a 6-minute at bat.
So one more time with a 3-2 pitch. Scutaro stepping out. Garza stepping back. They have an epic battle going on here to start this game. The 13th pitch of this at bat is chopped toward the middle. Bartlett is there to glove it. The throw to first, and they finally take care of Scutaro. He's out 6-3, short to first. A 6-minute plus at bat for Scutaro.
Nice little play there by Bartlett as well. That wasn't an easy play going up the middle. He knew Scutaro was moving down the line. He had to make a quick off-balance throw and threw a strike to Pena.
Well, you've got to give Garza credit, too, on his end of that battle. To stand out there and make pitch after pitch and finally get him on the 13th pitch.
He had to throw 10 strikes out of those 13 pitches to get him.
Here's Aaron Hill. And there's a ball. Hill hit his 28th home run of the year in the 3rd inning last night. He has more home runs than any other second baseman. Didn't miss by much. 2-0.
He's really becoming a leader on this team, too. He said he learned a lot by watching how Scott Rowland approached the game, and he's kind of taking those same qualities with him.
Pitch inside, 3-0. Cito Gaston was talking about him the other day in those terms. He said he's not a shy personality, and with the way he plays the game, you could see him emerging as a leader in a clubhouse. That's a strike. 3-1.
And Cito's a guy like Joe Madden that lets his guys have control of their own clubhouse, and this is a player that's going to be very instrumental for the Blue Jays for years to come.
Three and two.
That is classic Matt Garza right there. Hitters count 3-1, just buries that two-seamer against a very good hitter. Looking fastball. Watch the movement on this pitch, down and in. And Hill's not even close.
3-2. And he just missed. And Garza's a little upset over that one. That pitch just inside, and boy, that was close.
That's one as a pitcher early on when you're establishing where your zone is that you want. It had a little movement inside it, and it started on the plate, but it tailed inside. Good call by Joyce. That was close to take with 2 strikes.
And now it brings up Adam Lind. That's the first pitch strike. You know, the 2 replays we saw on that pitch to Hill, it's a great example of how good that overhead shot is compared to the center field shot, because you don't get a center field shot that's straight on the plate, and so it's going to distort where that ball appears to be if you're going to rely strictly on the center field camera. And that's why you really have to be careful about that, and in most cases give the umpire the benefit of the doubt there, because it's not a straight on shot. There's a line drive into right for a base hit. Kapler to make the pickup. Hill's headed to third, and on a walk and a single, the Blue Jays with 1 out have put men at first and third.
2 solid hitters in that lineup back-to-back. Aaron Hill, Adam Lind. I mean, 2 of the best hitters for Toronto, and then Lyle Overbay behind them has been doing the job in the cleanup spot. I like what you said, though, about those angles, and I agree with you. That overhead angle is such a clear-cut shot of where it crosses the plate. And from center field, you can see the movement of the pitch. So you see that pitch to Aaron Hill and how tough it is, and there's the angle we're talking about, that pure shot of where the ball crosses the plate. But you can see what a hitter's dealing with in terms of movement in and out. Then you can go to the overhead and see where it crosses the plate. It's a great combo.
Here's Lyle Overbay. And the pitch is the strike. Let's take a look at that big scorecard out there. You see a first out there, 6-3, short to first. Then the walk, followed by a base hit to right.
He started by using dots for balls and strikes. Then he went to X's for the second batter. So we're showing different variations.
That's foul ball, and that's an important note to make in that there's some basics to keeping score, but everyone will score a little differently.
Yeah, Dwayne, that was the intent there, was to show there's more than one way to do it. I like the dots. I think it's easier to follow, but you can also do X's. And note, this scorecard doesn't have the little boxes for balls and strikes, so we had to kind of make it up there.
Pitch inside to Overbay, 1-2. And you know, some scorecards you'll see have those diamonds.
Yeah.
And as you see right there, some will not. And I, just a personal preference, prefer not to have those, and I make up my own little diamonds as the hitters progress around the bases. Ground ball foul. Still 1-2.
The one thing you do that I don't do, which I think is good, is you keep track of the fouls after 2 strikes. A lot of people don't. When they have those boxes, there's no more room to keep adding those little notations. So you obviously have a lot of spots noted for Marco Scuderos.
I do, yes, I do. I have 12 of those, and then the actual ground ball to short. They give me 13 pitches. 1-2 now to Overbay, and he strikes him out with a fastball. First strikeout for Garza. 2 gone in the inning. There's that K for the strikeout.
Big strikeout there against a tough hitter who's been really on a roll in that cleanup spot. Overbay goes out of the zone a little bit. That's the good 2-seamer away to the lefty, tailing. Looks like a strike when it leaves his hand and ends up about 6 inches off the plate. Nice strikeout, big strikeout there for Matt.
So here's Vernon Wells, the center fielder. He's hitting .255 on the year. Fouls the first pitch right back out of play for a strike. Fastball to start Wells. And he pops it up. Foul ball right side, playable. And Navarro, boy, it appeared that it was going to be playable for Pena, and I think he lost it, and Navi came back and almost made a great play on that one in front of the dugout.
It's a shame because Carlos is so good at pop-ups, and he just never saw this one. He barely moved 2 feet off the bag. There you see him. He's drifting. He's looking for Navarro. Very, very difficult play, just off the heel of his glove. Almost made the catch. Unfortunately, Pena never saw it, and Navarro almost made a great play. You can see it just hit the heel of that catcher's mitt.
That's great effort by Navarro to get over there. It's a no play, so it's just a foul ball to run the count to 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeout on the fastball up. 2 strikeouts in the inning. Witt completes his top of the first. No score. Kids Sunday here on Sun Sports. Rays lineup finds Jason Bartlett leading off. He's the shortstop. His position is number 6. Carl Crawford in left. Evan Longoria in third. Ben Zobrist, the cleanup hitter, at second base. At first base, his position number 3. Carlos Pena, the DH Willie Ibar. Gabe Kapler in right field. Deanna Navarro will do the catching, and B.J. Upton with number 8 as his position would be in center field.
Mark Zepchinski is on the mound for Toronto. He made his major league debut against the Rays on the 7th of July. Very well. He did very well in his outing that day. 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run allowed. Been hit around a little bit his last 2 starts, but he's also found better control as he hasn't walked as many batters over his last 3 outings.
Now Jason Bartlett, he takes the first pitch, and that's a strike. Fastball in the upper 80s by the young lefty. One and one. The Rays saw him back on the 7th of July. Collected just the run on a couple of hits off him. Strike 2. The Rays eventually won that game in 11 innings, 3-1. That was on the home run by Pat Burrell that gave the Rays that victory. And that's inside. 2-2.
Joe Madden said Burrow was available today to pinch hit, and that he feels after the off day tomorrow, Pat should be ready to go on Tuesday.
Two. It's up the right field side toward the line. In there for a base hit. England has it bounce away from him, and Bartlett will go into second base. So the Rays immediately have a man in scoring position on the base hit up the right side. That'll be a base hit and an error charged to England. He was charged with an error on Crawford's double here on Friday night.
England's primarily a second baseman through his career. Not to excuse that play, he just took his eye off the ball, but he's playing a little more outfield now since Alex Rios was claimed on waivers by the White Sox. And at some point, I think you'll see Cito Gaston with Travis Snyder up here from the minor leagues. But for now, he's mixing and matching in the outfield. A team that hadn't committed many errors all year commits an early one.
Yeah, Snyder is burning it up at Las Vegas. Now Carl Crawford. Carl takes a slider in there for a strike, and there's the scoring there for Bartlett. A base hit to right and an E9. Allowing Bartlett to advance to second. And a bunt by Crawford. The lefty picks it up and the flip to first in time, with Bartlett advancing to third. So Zepchinski throws out Crawford on the bunt to move the runner over.
Love that play from Crawford. He's never been a great bunter. And with a lefty pitcher, you get it to the right side there. It's kind of an awkward throw for Zepchinski. Watch this, and with Crawford's speed, you never know if Zepchinski's just a hair late or throws it a little bit wide. See, that's kind of an awkward play for Zepchinski to make. And Crawford's out, but he's moving the runner along, and now fly ball scores him.
So he'll get a sacrifice for that. Running the runner to third against the lefty. Here's Evan Longoria. And the pitch is a strike coming in. A slider to Evan.
Some people at home might think, well, Crawford's so hot right now. Why do you think taking the bat out of his hands is a good play? Well, right now you can put the Jays on the defensive. Their infield's back.
A little tap third base side. Nothing at 2.
And if you can get Garza an early run the way he's pitching against Toronto, it could be a big run early. So yes, Crawford's hot lately, but I still like that play there, because with the Rays RBI leader and the guy second in the American League in RBI.
You know, we talked about this the other day too. The team that scores first more than likely will win. I mean, that's just the basic percentages, and I think especially when you're home, that's a good play. trying to break out in front. You have a statistical advantage at home, and if you score first at home, that gives you a greater statistical advantage in terms of the ultimate win you're looking for.
And as good as Crawford's been this year, if he can start butting well, look out.
And a foul ball, holding the count at 0-2.
It's the one area of his game that really needs some polish. He's never been a great bunter. But if he works that into his game, I mean.
Well, if he forces infielders in more, he'll shoot base hits through the infield and not only pick up bunt hits, but he'll pick up more hits overall. Yeah, it's been fun to watch him be so healthy, accelerate his game the way he has this year. Longoria just a little piece of it to stay alive there. We saw quite a few sliders out of Zepchinski back in early July when he pitched against the Rays, and he's trying to run that ball in, break it in here on Longoria.
He does throw a lot of off-speed stuff, a lot of sliders, a lot of curves. He'll throw an occasional change, spots the fastball, but you're right, does throw a lot of stuff up there with a wrinkle.
The 0-2 away, fastball, but well off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And equipment repair here. Barajas had that pitch do something to the webbing of his glove, so he has to switch mitts.
Well, maybe that one is not broken in as much. Bartlett at third. And strike 3 call. The fastball froze him. 2 gone.
Good tailing fastball by Zepchinski to get Longoria looking. Here's your Blue Jays defense behind the lefty. Adam Lynn, Vernon Wells, Joe England, and Wright, who committed that error earlier this inning. Edwin Encarnacion, Marco Scudero, Aaron Hill, Lyle Overbay, and Rod Barajas, who threw out both DJ Upton and Carl Crawford on Friday night, is behind the plate for Martin Zepchinski.
Well, here's Ben Zobrist. He had one of the 2 hits off Zepchinski in the 6 innings he pitched against the Rays the first time they saw him. He takes a look at a pitch wide. 1 ball, no strikes. Ben, 328 from the right side of the plate. Ahead 2-0.
Zepchinski's got a nice little tailing action on his fastball, and he's able to free some right-hand hitters occasionally, like he did against Longoria, where he starts the pitch inside of the plate and it breaks towards the corner. That time he caught the corner against Evan.
And that's a strike. Slider breaking over. 2-0 slider makes it 2 balls and a strike.
It's hard to sit fastball on this guy because he doesn't always pitch in a normal sequence. A lot of times he'll pitch backwards and throw breaking stuff in fastball counts.
And he stays away with the fastball outside. So when he does deliver that fastball, he's made sure that it's away from the right-handed hitter. Pretty much off the plate.
Good spot here for Zobrist ahead of the count.
3-1. And that's down and in. So he walks Zobrist. He threw him a 3-1 slider. First and third for Carlos Pena.
Looked like a pretty good pitch by Zepchinski. Didn't get the call. Rays will take it. His splits, the lefty splits, are pretty much right down the middle. He's batting average against is pretty equal between lefty and righty hitters.
So the Rays have a couple men aboard here in the first inning with 2 outs. Carlos Pena hitting .212 for the year. He's 9th in runs batted in, 1st in home runs. Lefty's pitch misses. A ball, no strikes. Pena tried to take it back, but he had offered, and the count is 1-1. Seen that fastball in the upper 80s and occasionally will reach 90. And that's wide. 2-1. Zipchinski started the year at AA in the Eastern League in New Hampshire, then went to AAA. 9-5 in the minor leagues this year, and 1-3 in the big leagues. Outside, a slider again. So Carlos is way ahead in the count right now, 3-1. And as we've seen before, he's as likely to throw a breaking ball 3-1 as he is a fastball.
And 3 great takes in this at bat by Pena. All 3 sliders looked hittable coming out of the hand of Zipchinski, and all 3 Carlos took for balls as they slid off the plate.
And a check swing, and that's going to be a fair ball to call. Pena's tagged by the catcher Barajas, and that's going to retire the side. The Rays lead 2. We are through 1. No score.
On a Kids Sunday with a little bit of a scorebook lesson. Let's take a look at 2 of the key plays in the last inning offensively for the Rays and how we score this in the book. First of all, Jason Bartlett. Now, he ends up on second base, but as you'll see, the right fielder in this case makes an error on the play. Inglet bobbles the ball. So the way you score that, it would be a single, and then Bartlett reaches second on an error. Now, as far as Crawford is concerned, that is obviously a sacrifice bunt. So let's go back and look at our scorecard as Bartlett goes to third. You have a single, 1B, E9, error on the right fielder. Now, something that I learned from watching Dwayne and Todd, the position number of the player that moved Bartlett over, okay? The number 7 refers to Crawford, the left fielder who laid down the sacrifice bunt for the first out, and will continue throughout the broadcast.
And here's Randy Ruiz leading off, taking the first pitch inside. Ruiz, the designated hitter. Garza throws the pitch by him. The count is 1-1. Ruiz up from Las Vegas, where he was having a very good offensive year at the AAA level. 1-2. He was hitting well over 300 with 25 homers and 106 runs batted in the Pacific Coast League. It's fouled away. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know, he had to be a tough kid. He grew up about 20 blocks from Yankee Stadium, and he was a Mets fan growing up. So that's...
Yes, you got to be tough to do that.
That's not good percentages.
It's down a little bit. It's 2-2. Started his pro career in the Cincinnati Reds organization. Full count now. And did get a little big league time with the Twins. And now with the Blue Jays.
Where Matt Garza just has to go ahead and trust his stuff. He was ahead of the hitter 1 and 2, trying to make too good of a pitch the last 2 times out. He's got great stuff facing this guy for the first time.
Swing and a miss. He strikes him out. Now Ruiz with a full count. A little aggressive and may have chased one here, but as you point out, Garza gets great movement anyway.
A little riding fastball there. Ruiz thought it was hittable. May have chased one a little out of the zone. That's Matt Garza right there. He can blow a fastball by a good fastball hitter.
Here's Encarnacion aggressively attacking that first pitch and missing. Strike 1. Edwin Encarnacion hitting 191 right now. 0-2. A couple fastballs and Garza's ahead of him. 2 strikes.
This is an aggressive team for the most part. They will draw their walks, but they're also not afraid to go after a pitch early in the count if they feel like they can drive it.
This one is up, and part of that is the philosophy of Cito Gaston. You know, he's not a big take a pitch guy. He wants his hitters to go up there looking for a particular pitch and being aggressive with it. So he's not afraid to have them swing the bat. This one lifted into right. It's Kepler making the catch. 2 gone. So Encarnacion with a fly ball to right. That would be a fly ball to the right fielder, whose position is 9 if you're keeping score. 2 outs. Now the catcher Rod Barajas. Barajas, a .241 average for the year. And he lifts a high fly ball into left field. A lot of room for Carl Crawford. He's got it. It's a 1-2-3 second. On to the bottom half of the inning, and we have no score. We've got you under our wing. Buy the new 2010 Mercedes-Benz E-Class. Come into your authorized dealer right now for the driving experience of a lifetime. And by M. Scott, you're okay with us. Good Sunday continues here at Tropicana Field. No score, and Willie Ibar is going to lead it off for the Rays against the lefty Mark Zepchinski.
All those kids attending the game today. You know, it's kind of neat last couple of days hearing how upset Rays fans were coming off that West Coast trip. And just how people are so into the season the last couple of years. It's been a lot different.
Here's Ibar. The pitch is up, 1 ball and no strikes. Well, the standard is certainly different after last year's success. And that's what you want. 2-0. I mean, you know, we went through the years when there was more hope than expectation, and now there's expectation, and that's a lot better.
Absolutely.
Pitch is high. 3-0. You know, and that's something we've talked about it last year. From the very get-go last year in spring training, I sensed that out of the team when pitchers and catchers showed up in spring training, that there was among the team, among the players, the pitchers, catchers, and position players on the team, there was a level of expectation as opposed to hoping they could be good. And there's ball 4, so a leadoff walk, and they had to go about, I think, validating the idea that they were good last year, and we saw that as the season progressed. So they opened this year with expectation. I thought Joe Maddon's approach was gratitude and humility. I think that's a great way to approach the season. And underneath all of that, they had the expectation to again excel. And this season's not over. You know, they start today 4 back in the wild card, and anything could happen with close to 7 weeks left to go in the season.
Both teams, they trail in the wild card. They still play a half dozen times each.
Gabe Kapler. He takes a pitch inside following the walk to Ibar.
Well, as fun as last year was, it was an opportunity for fans to see what it was like to be the front runner in a division all year long, and now it's a different dynamic for this fan base, and there's still 46 games to play, and 4 games certainly not insurmountable.
The pitch is a strike. And you know the interesting thing, winning 97 games last year and winning the East outright, finishing first in the division, the Rays have not been in first place one day this year. So it would be just like this team. It would be just like this team not to do that all year and then win the wild card.
Yeah, they've been sitting in third primarily and fourth.
Ground ball back to the mound. Zepchinski will go to second, out there and over to first. They get the double play on a 1-4-3. Kapler grounds into 2 to erase the leadoff walk.
After the walk to Ibar, a little comeback here to the pitcher, Zepchinski, right back at him, and that is Taylor made. That is the pitcher 1 to the second baseman Hill 4 to the first baseman Lyle Overbay 3. A 1-4-3 double play.
And there's Witt chronicling that play. So the bases are now empty with 2 outs for Deoner Navarro. Pitch is low, 1-0.
Well, when we look back at the first half, I think the 2 lefties in the rotation right now, Scott Kazmir and David Price, were more inconsistent than they would like to be and than the Rays would like to be. We're starting to see signs from both of them that maybe the second half could be a turnaround. And if that's the case, who knows what this team can do in the final 7 weeks of the season. 7 weeks from today is the final regular season game. And
we referenced Joe Maddon talking about this club, and essentially his analysis, I think what a lot of folks who follow this club is that the starting pitching has to stabilize and give the Rays more innings. 2 balls and a strike, and the starter's ERA is 19th in the majors, and this rotation is better than 19th in the majors. 2-2 now to Navarro.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Joe knows that. Every individual starter knows that. They feel like they're one of the top 5 rotations in the league, but their numbers don't show it this year.
Nave hits it hard, foul through the coaching box at third.
A different look today for, there you see Jeff Neiman. He's been as good as anybody in their rotation.
Well, he's the only starter with a winning record in that rotation. What does that tell you?
Amazing. That's hard to do and still be in the race, is only have one of your starters with a winning record.
Outside, full count to Navarro. You're right about picking up on Navarro's look. It is a little different, isn't it?
Maybe it's a little tip of the cap to his battery or his catching mate, Greg Zahn, who wears the high socks, but now he's going with the old school look today.
I kind of like that. He hits it a long way, but foul. He had home run distance, but it was foul by about half as long as he hit it.
There you see the Navarro pants going up to about the high part of the calf, in stark contrast to the on-deck hitter B.J. Upton, whose pants could easily fall over his shoes and come back and still have a little material left.
Ground ball, and that skips right through Encarnacion. Going to go back into the left field corner, and Navi's on his way to second. Navarro hit the ball sharply, and Encarnacion could not handle it.
Mentioned this during last night's game. Navarro is just such a more confident hitter right-handed. He barely works at his right-handed swing because he feels like it's always there. He's always working in his left-handed swing. He continues to hit close to 300 on the year as a right-handed hitter. And off is Navi, racing for a double here with 2 outs. Or an error.
Yeah, going to be an error, but boy, he really hit the ball hard. You know what I'm wondering, and it'll be interesting to see the rest of the year. Having Zahn here might just take a little pressure off Navarro and help him to relax and play a lot more the way he did last year than this year. Getting off to a slow start has really weighed on him.
Michel Hernandez did a real nice job as the backup, but Navarro knew he was probably playing 5 days a week, sometimes 6, and when you're struggling, it doesn't give you a chance to mentally rest.
There's a strike, and the count is 1-1. And I'll say this about Zahn. You know, he was here the other day around noon looking at video in an effort to catch up, to get an idea about this rotation and the entire staff. And if Navi will allow it, there's a lot to be learned by a young catcher from a veteran like Zahn. Down to third off the bat of Upton. Encarnacion throws him out to retire the side, and we're at the end of 2, scoreless. Number 9 hitter and the right fielder for Toronto. Matt Garza, a little over 40 pitches through the first 2 innings, and 30 of those came in the first. 13 to the leadoff hitter to start this game. And Scudero will hit second, followed by Aaron Hill. First pitch is outside to England. You know, Garza, he gets such movement, particularly on that two-seamer. You could see the popper down the left side. That's going to be foul. Crawford with a full head of steam just can't get there. Great effort and just short as Crawford raced into the bullpen area after that foul ball.
There's going to be better and better defensive statistics as we go through the next few years, as Crawford just barely missed catching up to this, including using GPS to determine a fielder's range. As more of these statistics become more common, people are going to realize how valuable that guy is in left field.
I think you're right. You're right on point there.
Because nobody comes close to that ball in left field in the league.
2-1. How often do you see a foul ball down there with just no movement? It's a foul ball.
Right.
Nobody has the feeling that they have any chance, and at most you get sort of a token movement out of a couple defenders. That's a liner over the head of Pena and into right field, a base hit, and England has a single his first time up.
England hasn't always had much success against Garza, but a little inside fastball there into right. Just 3 for 19 now in his career against Matt.
Well, we go to the top side of the order again with Marco Scudero. He started the game with his 13th pitch at bat before grounding out. It came on a ground ball handled by Bartlett at short. The infield would take that right here. Ground ball, but it's through the hole to the right of Bartlett as Scudero jumped on the first pitch and singles off the fastball. England stops at second.
Well, here comes a pretty important point of the game early for Matt Garza, facing Aaron Hill and Adam Lynn back to back with first and second, nobody out. And he knows that. He's regrouping behind the mound. Big spot for him after the 9-1 hitters get on.
Hill walked in the first. So for the second time in this game in the first 3 innings, the Blue Jays have 2 men on. This time with nobody out and some dangerous hitters due up. 1 ball, no strikes. And a base hit, that's through the hole. England will stop at third, and the bases are loaded on 3 consecutive singles. So Garza's in a big spot right here.
Finding a lot of the play 1-0 pitch here. Aaron Hill sitting fastball, getting fastball over the plate. And the Jays keep those singles rolling here in this inning.
4 hits off Garza. A couple of back-to-back singles. Back-to-back-to-back singles, actually. 3 hits to open the inning. Here's Lind. A breaking ball. Drops too low to start the left-handed hitting Lind. He's singled into right his first time. And a pop fly right center field. That's going to carry out to Upton. Inglet with the tag, the catch, and now Inglet goes back to third. BJ with that great arm. Not many arms better than BJ's in center field, and England went back to tag, came down the line, and put on the brakes.
England was surprised that Nick Leyva held him, but Leyva knows better. This is a classic B.J. Upton defensive moment where the third base coach, with nobody out, is not going to take a chance. A lot of center fielders, you're going to take a shot. And I think when England left the bag, his head was down, and he was thinking, I'm scoring. And all of a sudden he said, what? I got a break here? That's B.J. Upton with that arm.
So one away. Here's Lyle Overbay. Overbay fouls one the other way out of play. Slicing into the stands. That's a strike.
And as it turns out, B.J. tailed that throw a little bit to third, but once you had that reputation, when you've thrown guys out the last couple of years, it goes a long way defensively towards helping your team.
A little tap, that's foul. Well, part of the thinking that goes into holding the runner at third is that they had the cleanup man, Overbay, and he has been hitting very well since moving into the cleanup spot. Rather than risk having that runner thrown out at the plate, he is held there. Garza's remained loaded.
Garza was ahead of him last time and used that two-seamer away, and he changed. See if he'll get Overbay to expand the zone again here, so he could use a strikeout for the second out.
England third, Scudero second, Hill at first. The 0-2, and did he go? Oh, that was close on the appeal to Johnson down at third. He said he held up. Boy, he came very close to going. Did he go?
Nope.
Nope, he did not. And the count goes to 1-2. Upstairs, he lays off a high fastball. 2-2 now.
0-2 and 1-2. Navarro set up inside, and Overbay almost swung at the 0-2 pitch. Now you've got to think they go away and try and get him fishing.
2-2, and it's down, blocked. A breaking ball there, 2-2. So he threw him a curve, and now the count is full. Garza trying to get out of this spot. Scoreless game in the third. The base is loaded. One out. Full count to Overbay. And he strikes him out. Threw him a fastball. Overbay strikes out on a fastball. The breaking ball took it to 3-2, and Garza just came right back to the old number one.
95 as Overbay is overpowered. That is straight charbroiled heat right there. Charbroiled heat as he just brought the fastball up in the zone, and that's a good hitter you get with a fastball.
So 2 outs. Here's Vernon Wells. And the first pitch is a strike on the outside part of the plate.
Fun to watch a pitcher rear back and get that extra 2 or 3 MPHs when he needs it.
Yeah, especially going 3-2. You knew that you're going to have to come in there with something extra, and boy, did he. Wells hits a chopper to the right side. Zobrist has it, and the Rays get out of the jam. Wells out. Zobrist to Pena. Bases loaded, nobody out. Garza gets out of that jam. We are scoreless. Rays and the Blue Jays. Our Geico quote of the day, Joe Madden on Carl Crawford. Impressive to watch him right now, hitting the ball all over the place, hitting it hard and working deep at bats. And that's something Crawford has done for a good part of this entire season. Jason Bartlett leads off, and he takes the pitch high. Bartlett, then Crawford, followed by Longoria. That's upstairs, 2-0. Boy, an impressive job by Garza to get out of that bases loaded, nobody out situation. Bartlett singled his first time. Left on third base. It's a strike. As if you didn't know already from Jim Joyce. 2-1. Three and one.
You can even hear him on the balls say ball outside. It's that two-tone strike call. And he sustains it throughout the whole game. Very impressive.
And ball four. Bartlett is on. The Rays draw their third walk already against Zepchinski. Jason's on for the second time. And Carl Crawford will be the hitter. Our Toyota trend. Carl having a great series. 6 of 8 with 4 doubles and 4 runs scored. Stolen base just for good measure. He loves to hit against Toronto pitching. Carl 6th in the league overall in hitting right now. And he takes a pitch inside.
Zepchinski had problems with control his first 4 starts. He had walked 15 batters in his first 4 major league starts, but then all of a sudden he seemed to find the plate his last 3. He only walked a total of 4, but now struggling again with command.
1-1 the count. Carl got credit for the sacrifice his first time. And that stays in. 2-1. Yeah, Zepchinski made his big league debut against the Rays and got a no decision. Lost his next outing to Baltimore, and then he got his first big league win on the 18th of July at home against the Red Sox. Pitched 6 innings in that game and gave up just 1 earned run. His losses have come, as we mentioned, to Baltimore, Cleveland, and to the Yankees. His last 2 outings against New York, one a loss and the other one a no decision. There's a shot back into deep center field. That ball is well hit off the wall. Bartlett hitting third. Foley will wave him to the plate. No throw, and the Rays take the lead on another double by Carl Crawford. Crawford hit it off the center field wall, driving in his 58th run with his 24th 2-base hit, and it's 1-0 Tampa Bay.
5 doubles in this series for CC. He had 2 doubles Friday night. He had 2 doubles last night, and he smokes one off the right center field wall. Almost drove it out of the ballpark. And he was not entirely sure if Bartlett was going to be waved, so he couldn't go into that extra gear. You can see him kind of breaking it down around second, or he might have had a triple. Watch him right here. He's like, is Bartlett going to go home? I'm not sure. Oh, too late.
So a double, and here's Evan Longoria stepping in with Carl in scoring position. Pitch fouled back. That was a slider that kind of hovered up there a little bit, came in just enough to tie Longoria up a little bit, but he had a pretty good cut at a slider that was not one of the better ones we've seen from Zepchinski. strike, nothing, and too quickly. Let's go to it.
Well, it's our first chance to color in one of these diamonds. We talked about either drawing it yourself or having the scorecard that already has them pre-drawn for you. Well, in that case, when the run scores, you color it in, the number 7 from Crawford's RBI right there, and that is the easiest way to add up the number of runs. Just count the number of colored in diamonds. 1 run on the board.
So Crawford at second, 2 strikes the count to Longoria. The ground ball sharply hit, picked up by Scutaro at short, and the throw to first. Crawford remains at second there on the ground ball to the left side. 1 away. Carl collecting the run batted in on the double. That'll be Ben Zobrist. Ben walked in the first inning. He got ahead 3-1, and then Zipchinski threw him a slider and missed for ball 4. Carl back in. Pitch is a strike. And a fastball over the edge. Carl has used Darrell Cousins as sort of a, not exactly a moving screen as he takes his lead and ducks in behind Cousins. Oh, that caught in the corner, says Jim Joyce. Zobrist started to go out in front on what appeared to be a changeup.
Tough pitch right there. May have caught the corner, but it looked like it was a little away from Ben.
Sure did. Oh, 2 now. And a turn, nothing doing with Scutaro slipping in behind Crawford. Ben behind the left-hander, and he did not go on that one. Slider down and in. Rays have a run, a couple of hits. They've drawn 3 walks. The leadoff walk here in the third, leading to the first run of the game. There goes Crawford. The pitch skied back into left. Lind is in line to make the catch, and Crawford's going to have to hustle to get back and beats the throw back in. Crawford had a great jump. He would have stolen third as Zobrist lifts a fly ball to left for the second out.
It's too bad because I think the pitch was in on the hands a little bit of Zobrist. I think it would have been a ball, and you're right. Crawford doesn't even draw a throw there. He's easily in the third. Instead of he really had to hustle to get back, and with his speed, he was able to do so standing.
2 outs with Carl still at second. Carlos Pena about to step in, and the Blue Jays use the shift. He'll step or 2 into the outfield, filling the hole on the right side. Scutaro up the middle. Pena was up there with a couple of men on in the first and ahead in the count 3-1 when he tried to check on a pitch that he made incidental contact with, and it turned out to be a fair ball. That pitch is inside for a ball. Carlos somehow thought that was a foul ball and did not move, and was tagged out by Barajas.
I think he's seen the ball well, though, out of this lefty's hand. He did not chase any of those sliders his first time up. They tried to pound him in there on the first pitch, and he started to swing but held up.
And again, off the plate. 2 balls, no strikes.
You know, Zepchinski is already up to 60 pitches. Working a lot of deep counts. The Rays are good at that.
Two and 0. Pena let loose of that one and missed. A fastball. His fastball anywhere from about 86 to 90. I think we've seen 1 or 2 in the vicinity of 90 miles per hour, but most of them have been in the upper 80s, and that slider around 80 or 81. It's a 2-1 count. Two balls, 2 strikes.
One thing we know Carlos probably won't do is hit a ball between first and second. Lyle Overbay and Aaron Hill play as close together in their shift as any team. I mean, look at that. There's barely any room there between these two guys. They're talking after every pitch. They're practically touching gloves after every swing.
Two and 2 now. And that is ball 3 to run it full. What he needs to do is to hit one to Darryl Cousins.
That would be nice. There's nobody within 30 feet of Darryl Cousins, except for Carl Crawford, who's using him as a little shield there.
3 balls, 2 strikes, a run home. Crawford still at second with 2 outs now. And a high fly ball, not too deep toward left center. Wells is there to make the catch, and that retires the side. The Rays get a run on the double by Crawford and leave him at second. We're through 3, 1-0 Tampa Bay. The 4th we go, and as we continue our seminar on scoring, let's score this one. That's a game from July the 31st here. The Rays against Kansas City with Ben Zobrist hitting, and that turned out to be one of the more unorthodox plays that we've had to score. And there it is. It makes contact with the pitcher, so that's 1. Sidney Ponson. Then it deflects off him to the second baseman, Callaspo. That's a 4. Now an attempt to get the runner, but it hits the runner, and the first baseman, 3. Butler picks it up, looks to the plate, and now he'll go back to third to Gordon, the third baseman. He's 5, and so that's a double play that was started on a line drive deflecting off the pitcher. Here's Bartlett, deep short, and the throw to first is not going to be in time, and Ruiz has an infield hit. Great effort by Jason Bartlett, and Ruiz has an infield hit. So back to that scoring on the double play. That turns out to be a 1-4-3-5 double play, and that actually occurred here at Tropicana Field on July 31st in a game against Kansas City.
That was Ponzone using his body to the best of his ability.
Yes, it was.
That play had everything. It had Evan Longoria clapping because they figured he beat the playback, not realizing that Carl Crawford was 70 feet off the bag.
Here's a pitch to Encarnacion, and that's a ball. Ruiz at first. Two and 0. Garza got out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam in the third. And he's behind Encarnacion. Three balls, no strikes. There's a strike. Ruiz at first. Encarnacion is the 7th placed hitter in the lineup. And a soft liner into center field, left center. Upton on the pickup. Ruiz, a snap throw back to second after the turn made by Ruiz, but he's back. And the first 2 men are on here in the 4th inning. Time for our Aflac trivia question in the top of the 4th. Aflac, we've got you under our wing. Just how many ways can a batter reach first base? Well, the most basic way is with a base hit. Encarnacion is at first, Ruiz at second. Rod Barajas. That's a strike.
Garza keeps walking the tightrope. First and third, 1 out in the first. Bases loaded, no outs last inning, and now he's got a couple of runners aboard with nobody out here in the 4th. He has been living dangerously in this game.
The Rays have the slim 1-run lead. High pop, short center. Zobrist out making the call, and Upton's going to run him off, as he should in that situation. So Barajas is out number 1. Again, let's go to Whit Watson.
All right, the seminar continues. All right, Zach, it was a fly ball, so that would be an F. Give me an F right there. The center fielder called for it. Center fielder's position number, do you remember? 8. F8, the 8 right there. Other side. F8. There you go. And that's out number 1. So right here, give me a 1 with a circle around it. And there you go. That's how we know. Barajas flew out to center field. Yeah, it was fine. We'll get better. We'll keep working on it. All right.
That's a great job out there by Zach. Pitch is down here to Englert, with Watson enlisting the aid of his son Zach, and he's doing a great job. Englert takes that for a strike.
You know our scorecard there in right field and foul territory, where they list the lineup and then the righties and the lefties. We now have a balance. We have our third lefty.
Oh, that's right. The bench is now balanced.
Yeah, because we have Brian Anderson, Whit Watson, lefties, and the rest of us, Kevin, myself, you, righties. So now we've got 3 lefties. It's all good.
Oh, that's a nice pitch. A strike that caught the corner, a breaking ball. It's 1-2. That's as close as we've ever come to being balanced, Todd.
The most balanced this broadcast has ever been.
He's at second, Encarnacion at first, and that is strike 3 on England. Strikeout number 5 for Bartlett. Or, I'm sorry, for Garza. 5 strikeouts for Garza. Look at that.
Good slide piece. Diving down at the knees. Inglis starts to swing with the ball at his knees and ends up in the dirt. Garza going into attack mode when he's been in trouble today.
So 2 outs after putting the first 2 men on, and now we go to the top of the order, Marco Scutaro. Rolling away. Scutaro is grounded to short, single. 6 hits now for Toronto. Two and 0. Well, the Blue Jays have had 6 hits and a walk in this game. After strike, 2 and 1. The pitch fouled up the right side, out of play. So it's 2 and 2.
Remember in last night's game how Deontay Navarro just sat right in the middle of the plate all night for Scott Kazmir. A little different setup today with Garza, especially when he gets to 2 strikes. Navarro will go to the side of the plate exactly where he wants to pitch. Last night it worked out very well as he and Kazmir were in a nice rhythm after the first.
2 and 2. Here we go. Upstairs. Fastball. So a full count. He had that long at bat. Scutaro did in the first against Garza. Went to 3-2 and eventually extended the at bat to 13 pitches before they got him on the ground ball to Bartlett at short. He singled into left in the third, and now 3-2 here in the fourth. Garza's pitch and a ground ball to the right side. Zobrist has it to retire the side. We'll go to the bottom half of the fourth. The Rays lead 1-0, and the Blue Jays have stranded 7. They scored their run in the third. Time to get the answer to our Aflac trivia question. Aflac, we've got you under our wing. How many ways can a batter reach first base? That magic number is 8.
8 different ways to reach first base.
The most basic way a hit. Another one, a walk, hit by a pitch, fielder's choice, an error, drop third strike, catcher's interference, and fielder's obstruction.
And with all those different ways, Mark Buehrle's still able to avoid all 8.
Yep.
For 9 innings.
Pitch is down 2-0. Well, there you are. Another rundown on the different ways you can reach first base and how it might be scored.
And that drop third strike we listed as a strikeout pass ball. You can also obviously have a strikeout wild pitch, but it's all the same thing. It's a third strike that's not handled.
Ground ball, shortstop. That's Scooter Rose throw to first. Ibar is out of there. That, as it turns out, is a 6-3. Pretty straightforward play. Shortstop, his defensive position being 6, and the first baseman, his defensive position being 3. That records Willie Ibar's ground ball to short. Sharply hit down to third by Kapler. Encarnacion makes a fine play on that ball to throw out the Rays right fielder. 2 gone, and a little star by that play for Encarnacion at third base.
Bullet off the bat of Kapler. Hardly any time to react, and Encarnacion a real nice stop. And from a half of a knee, he throws that bullet across the diamond. He gets up on one leg, but he's still on his left knee when he throws this. That's a lot of arm strength as well.
Here's Deoner Navarro. That's a strike to Navarro. Deoner hit the ball very hard and hit it actually through Encarnacion down at third in the second inning for an error. It's outside.
Got to think, if you're a third baseman or a shortstop with Zepchinski on the mound, you've got to be ready each time he throws a pitch. He gets a lot of ground balls. You're going to see a lot of righties in the lineup. A lot of his off-speed stuff comes in on the hands of righties, so end up seeing a lot of action for the shortstop and the third baseman on our scorebooks. A lot of 5-3s and 6-3s.
There's a base hit for Navi. Pitch up a little bit, and he lines it into left. The Rays pick up their third hit.
I think B.J. Upton's about due. He's starting to narrow in a little bit in this homestand. He took a couple of walks last night. Hasn't hit a home run since the final day of June, but starting to have better at bats here during this homestand.
Takes a pitch high. A fastball in the neighborhood of 87 or 88.
Plus, the first 10,000 kids 14 and under today got a Boss Man Junior visor.
It would only be fitting then, wouldn't it?
It would be.
Foul out of play. Count is 1-1.
Is that kid 14 and under that we first saw? Or is that James Shields? Oh, that's Fernand. He's not 14 and under.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Well, they might have the same feeling that you have here.
There we go.
Takes it inside. 2-1.
And as superstitious as players are, that will be the new look the rest of the homestand, maybe, if he hits one.
You're right about that. Two one. Going to square the count. Navarro at first. 2 outs, 2-2 the count to Upton. That's a perfect fit. The 2-2 bounces this one foul, forcing another one. BJ was 0 for 3 against Zepchinski when the Rays faced him in early July. Run out third to first in the second inning of this game. The Rays' run came in the third on a walk to Bartlett and a double by Crawford. 2-2 again. And now the count is full. That was a high fastball. Rangers have 3-1 lead. That's in the 4th inning in Arlington. There's a high fly ball down the line toward the corner, and that's a foul ball and out of play. Just over that low wall back into the beach bar down there.
Nice catch. That's why you bring a glove to the game, especially if you're in the Corona Beach Bar. There's a lot of room out there to make a play. This is a F11. The player not on the field that's not the designated hitter is an 11 in my book. Nice play and a high five from his buddy. He's saying, see, you guys all made fun of me for bringing my glove. Look what happened.
3-2, a bouncing ball to short, charged by Scudero. Throw to first in time, and the Rays are finished in the 4th. No runs a hit. A man left. We go to the 5th. 1-0 Tampa Bay.
Toronto 1-0. All the parents in the audience, permit me the indulgence. You know that little sister wasn't very happy about Big Brother getting on TV. Well, that's little sister and mom. There's Ellie, age 6, and Tracy, mom, age not to be revealed, because Zachary got a chance to come out here and do some scoring with us. So had to pay off little sister. Thank you, Kevin Patterson, our game producer, for allowing us to do that. And we've got more with the scoreboard as we continue.
All right, that's a great move on your part, Whit. Way to go. We're headed into the 5th inning, and here's Todd Callis.
Dwayne, thank you very much. Aaron Hill will lead off for the Blue Jays. Rays leading 1-0 as Matt Garza delivers the first pitch of the 5th. A called strike. Garza's been working through some trouble here in the first 4 innings. He starts the inning with 77 pitches under his belt. He worked out of a bases loaded no out situation in the 3rd, and 1st and 2nd no outs in the 4th. Called strike from Jim Joyce. Nothing into the count to Aaron Hill, who has walked and singled.
It'd be great to see him have an inning without incident here. A nice little quick 1-2-3 inning after the last two.
He had a 1-2-3 second inning, but other than that, he's been working a lot out of the stretch. Just misses the inside corner. It's 1-2. Garza against the Toronto Blue Jays today. The wrap up to this 3-game weekend series. A day off tomorrow for both teams. And the Rays will welcome in the Baltimore Orioles for 3. Away with the slider, 2-2. And Garza has spread out 6 hits and 1 walk thus far while striking out 5. Ground ball in the hole, into left field, and Aaron Hill is on base for the 3rd time in this game. Another leadoff base runner for the Blue Jays. The Rays stuffed the bus school supply drive to benefit Campbell Park Elementary School. Drop off school supplies during Rays home games at Tropicana Field at either Gate 1 or Gate 4. You can do that now through the rest of the homestand, the 23rd, the final day. Call 888-FAN-RAYS for more details. Runner on first base for Aaron Hill, and Matt Garza working back out of the stretch yet again as he faces Adam Lind. Pitch misses away, 1-0. It looked like at the beginning of this inning that Witt's wife received a text notifying her she was about to be on camera. So Witt is texting, keeping score, and probably filing some Twitter reports too.
And that would make him a multitasking texter.
He's got everything going on. It's a very busy man out there in center field. Next pitch is away, 2-0.
2-0 the count.
You got it all covered, Witt?
God, I forgot about the Twitter. I'm going to be in big trouble when I get back to the office. Don't tell anybody.
Plenty of time left in the day, Witt.
I can put. Yeah, we can start. We can start now. Why not? Might as well. All right, we're tweeting.
Next pitch away. Matt Garza trailing in the count, 3-0 to Adam Lind, and he's in danger of putting 2 guys on again here to start the inning. Garza just seems to be working himself in and then out of trouble every inning. Not the way he wants to be working, or Jim Hickey, or Joe Madden, or James Shields, or Davey Martinez. It's quite a quartet there watching on. There's ball 4, just missed the corner. Garza thought he caught the plate, but a 4-pitch walk to Adam Lind.
That is off the plate. He's got such great movement, and here's the overhead shot. You can see he missed the plate. Same situation here as in the 4th. He has avoided disaster here in the last couple innings with some remarkable work to get out of these jams.
First and second, nobody out. Just like last inning. 3rd inning, he had bases loaded, nobody out. Drops a breaking ball over for a called strike. He has been good against Lyle Overbay, striking him out twice today. 2 of his 5 strikeouts.
Well, you know, he's been good against left-handed hitters in terms of average. They've hit under 200 off him this year. Now again, he had held left-handed hitters to an average of 194.
When you're a right-handed pitcher and you can do that against lefties, that just tells you something. And I know Matt's still learning the craft of pitching, but what stuff this guy has when he harnesses it. Breaking ball down low. It's 2-1. Seven men left on for the Blue Jays through 4, and Garza trying to work out of trouble yet again. First and second, nobody out. He has been dancing around the volcano here for 4 of the 5 innings. Big rip by Overbay, fouls one straight back. The count's 2-2.
Well, look at that. A little exclamation mark by the bases loaded in the 3rd. Witt out there. He got out of a big spot.
We're in the 5th inning, nobody out, and Garza about to deliver his 90th pitch of the afternoon. Trying to get Overbay for the 3rd time. This is the corner. The count's now full.
And boy, Garza really wanted that pitch to avoid another 3-2. But it was just off the plate.
He hit the glove of Navarro, which sometimes can fool the pitcher. He put it exactly where Navarro was set up, but it was off the plate. Hill on second. Lind on first. Nobody out. 3-2 pitch to Lyle Overbay. Called 3rd strike. He gets him looking. Strikeout number 6. 3 of them against Overbay.
And he threw him a breaking ball 3-2. Boy, that's a dandy. A 3-2 curveball. He went 3-2 with him in the 3rd and got him on that high fastball. And he dropped the breaking ball on the outside corner. How about this? He may have gotten the call right there as he played with the outside edge of that breaking ball. Overbay out once 3-2 on the fastball that time, looking at the breaking ball.
That was a big call, 3rd strike. If Garza didn't get that call, he would have been steaming because he felt like he had the 2-2 pitch, but he may have caught a break there, and it was a big break for the Rays. So 1 out, runners on 1st and 2nd, and now Vernon Wells, who has struck out and grounded out. Wells pops one foul. This is heading towards the crowd. Navarro a look, but he runs out. That young fan is going to bring a glove next time. He picks up the ball. A little stinger on that right hand without the glove. Nothing in 1 the count to Vernon Wells. With that 0-for-2 so far today, he's now 3 for 19 in his career against Matt Garza. Wells hitting the number 5 spot today for the Blue Jays. Yesterday with a base hit, became 3rd all time on the hit list for the Toronto Blue Jays, breaking his tie with Lloyd Mosby. There's a called strike. Garza ahead, 0-2. Matt Garza has had a very interesting afternoon so far. Early base runners in the inning, always seeming to work out of trouble, at least through the first 4 innings. Trying to do it again here in the 5th. Away, 1-2. Rays lead it 1-0. Carl Crawford RBI double in the 3rd. Lone run of this game. Up and in, 2-2 the count to Vernon Wells. Matt Garza will get a visit now from Jason Bartlett and Deanna Navarro. See the pitch count for Garza. The 2nd inning was a 1-2-3 inning. In that 1st inning, of those 30 pitches, 13 were used up in a Marco Scudero at bat. And he is approaching the 100 pitch total here in the 5th inning. Line drive, center field, base hit. BJ up to fields it on 1 hop. Coming home is Hill. The throw is not in time. Safe at home plate is Hill. Navarro hopping around at home plate. He took a hard shot from Hill. Both guys collided and just stopped in their tracks. And safe at home is Hill, and we have a tie game at 1.
And Navarro appeared to be hit from the side, and I'm not sure if that's an ankle or a knee. Here's the play again as BJ's throw appeared that it was going to be in time. And you see Navi, that left knee
Oh, he's out.
And he is out. He's out. He is absolutely out. Here's another look at that play.
Does he tag him right here? Or
did he? Well, that's a good shot right there to indicate maybe he did not. It appeared from that first replay that the reception of the throw, no, he never tagged him. And so he got in there. And Nabi comes away limping. He appears to be okay. Here's another look.
That's a shame. That was a great throw, and the momentum of the collision created the run. And that was a great call by Jim Joyce because he waited until Hill touched the plate. There was no signal before that. But Navarro's momentum was going away from the runner after the collision and had no chance to get back. Fun to watch B.J. Upton throw those strikes from center field. He put another one right on the money. So close. That glove was so close to reaching his shoulder, wasn't it?
It was.
On that initial collision. Just was about a half foot away, and then force of the collision took Navi off the play. So we're tied at 1. This is the first run Matt Garza has allowed to these Blue Jays here at home in 19 2/3 innings. He has been working around trouble all day long. Swinging a foul off the bat of Randy Ruiz, 0-1.
Well, that's about as close as you can come to being out and not actually being out at the plate. I'll tell you, there's Grant Balfour throwing in the Rays bullpen down the right field line.
Fouled away, 0-2.
And the initial concern about Nabi, you could see where the collision was in that left knee. Your knee's just not going to give in that direction, and that's when you run into trouble. And well, we're glad to see that he's all right.
Could be a little sore tomorrow. The Rays don't face another left-hander until Thursday against the Orioles. 0-2 pitch to Ruiz, up and in with a fastball, 1-2. Pitch number 100 for Matt Garza. Tried to get Ruiz to chase. It's low and away, 2-2. Randy Ruiz, designated hitter all 3 games in this weekend series. Just called up from AAA Las Vegas.
Yeah, Garza trying to get him to chase that 1-2 slider that was in the dirt. Good breaking ball, can get him.
Fastball at the knees, called third strike, says Jim Joyce. Strikeout number 7 for Matt Garza, 2 away here in the 5th.
Or a good fastball on the inside corner can get him as well. Here's another look at that 2-2 pitch, especially on the heels of the slider away. He started to look outside a little bit, 2-2, and is caught on the fastball on the inside edge.
The backwards K for the called third strike against Ruiz. Here's Edwin Encarnacion. Popped up into shallow center. Bartlett out. Upton calls him off, and BJ puts it away for the final out. The Blue Jays tie the game with a run, but lead 2 more. We head to the bottom of the 5th, 1-1. And with his RBI double, his 7th hit of the series, Matt Garza was working his way out of trouble through 4 innings, picking up 7 strikeouts along the way. But in the 5th, the Blue Jays finally scored their first run on a very close play at the plate. B.J. Upton's throw home. Yonder Navarro just knocked off the plate as Aaron Hill collided with him to score the first and only run for the Blue Jays. So that's where we are as we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning, all tied at 1, with Mark Zepchinski on the mound, working against the Rays lineup for the 3rd time through. Jason Bartlett, his first time up, singled, reached 2nd on an error by Joe England, eventually ended up at 3rd. His 2nd time up, he scored a run after drawing a walk and scoring on the Crawford double. Called strike from Zepchinski, 0-1. 80 pitches coming into this inning for the Toronto left-hander. Hard hit ball, 1-hop spear by Scutaro at short. His throw is going to be late as he tried to use the turf to bounce it across, and Bartlett's speed beat it out.
Well, there's Bartlett on for the 3rd straight time, 2 hits and a walk. And the Rays put the leadoff man on for the 4th time in 5 innings. You know, we've been concentrating on all these base runners the Blue Jays have had, but the Rays now put this leadoff man on again. See if they can build an inning on this.
Marco Scutaro upset with himself as he used that turf for a couple of hops instead of just 1 hop. It starts to slow up after the first bounce. Here's Carl Crawford. He swings at the first pitch and skies one to center. Vernon Wells drifts in a little bit and puts it away for the first out. So 1 away here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. You know, we saw another use of our overhead camera there during those replays of the play at the plate. Because on our initial look, it looked like Navarro had the tag made. And then you see that overhead shot, and you can see the separation.
And that's one of the problems with replays that we always have to be mindful of. There's no depth perception in that. And so just in a 2-dimensional view, it appeared that maybe there was contact made and a tag made. But you get another angle that adds another dimension, but in one shot itself, you only get 2 dimensions.
See Longoria's day, called 3rd strike and a ground out to short. He takes a pitch away, 1-0. I think Evan was a little frustrated at himself in his last at bat. You see the 1 and the 2. These refer to his at bats, his 1st and 2nd at bat. Not the innings in which he hits, which are the 1st and the 3rd. There's a ball ripped into center field, base hit. Evan Longoria back through the middle, and the Rays have 2 runners on with 1 out. So the Rays now with 5 hits to go along with 3 walks issued by Zepchinski. And Ben Zobrist is the hitter for the Rays. He walked his first time up and also flied out to left. Rays trying to regain the lead here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. We're all tied at 1. Rays scored their run in the 3rd. The Blue Jays scored their run in the top half of this inning. Away, 1-0. Matt Garza through 5 innings has thrown 103 pitches. He's a guy that's gone into the 116, 120 range at times, but there is bullpen action. As the Rays bat here in the 5th, it's still Grant Balfour up and loosening for the Rays. There's a called strike, 1-1. Sometimes with Joe Madden and Jim Hickey and all managers and pitching coaches, the decision on pitch counts, sometimes you have high leverage situations, and Garza seems to be working in high leverage situations this whole game. Those can sometimes tax your arm more than just 103 pitches where you're cruising along through 7 or 8. There's a pitch away, 2-1.
Well, as a general rule of thumb, if a pitcher has to go to the well 3 times in a game. You figure that's pretty much the max right there. And Garza has been in those situations really in 4 of the first 5 innings with men in scoring position.
9 runners left on in those 4 innings. 2-1 the count is Obrez. Ground ball towards third. Encarnacion to Hill for 1, and he does not have a chance to turn the relay. Longoria making sure of that.
Well, that bounding ground ball down to third, and the throw from Encarnacion gave Longoria enough time to get right on top of Hill and do a great job as the base runner to make it difficult for Hill to think about unloading a throw to attempt a double play, and so the inning continues.
Here's Witt scoring that play. It was a fielder's choice, moving to third because of the ground ball by Bartlett. You saw the 4 signified, the 5-4 on the fielder's choice. We need Witt to start coloring in soon, though. The Rays could use a run here.
So far, only one of those.
There you see the 1 run scored in the top of the third, or excuse me, in the bottom of the third, the top of the scorecard. See if Carlos Pena can get the job done here. Carlos, a little check swing ground ball to the catcher unassisted. And he flied out to center his last time up. Fouls one back on the first pitch, 0-1.
He might have had a good pitch to hit there, a fastball, and he jumped on it. He'd like to see that one again.
See Carlos at 3 circle on the left corner of each box, meaning the third out in each inning. As he batted in the first and the third, he's trying to avoid the third out here in the 5th. Inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Whit, what do you have for us?
Todd, you asked a question about jumping on Twitter. Well, we did, and we got a question from someone who's watching the broadcast. They had missed fielder's obstruction and catcher's interference on the 8 ways that a batter can reach first. But the question is, what about a balk? I'll throw that question to you. Can a batter get to first on a balk?
Not from home plate to first. You can advance from the other positions on the base paths, but not to get to first base. Ball hit deep to right center field, but Pena got under it. Wells calling off Inglet, and he makes the play for the final out. So the Rays leave 2 here on a couple of hits. We head to the 6th, all tied at 1.
The Rays and the Toronto Blue Jays, and throughout the game we've been doing our best to teach you the basics of how to keep a scorecard for a game. Now, we've had a couple of, I wouldn't say terribly odd plays, but some ones that don't come up all the time. We had the fielder's choice in the last inning. We've had a sacrifice bunt signified by a sack. Now, a couple real quick that we have not had yet, and you see on the monitor over here. Specialty scoring, a balk can be scored simply BK. The intentional walk, IBB, as opposed to simply BB for the walk, if you wish. The wild pitch, WP, obviously, and a pass ball, PB. So those are some of the other specialty scoring terms we've not yet had. But so far, so good. Had one double play. You see it right there, the old 1-4-3. So I've been lucky so far, Dwayne and Todd. No crazy 1-4-5 threes. So far, so good as we head here into the 6th.
All right, Will, well, it's time for you to mark in your first change of the day in your scorecard, and that is the new pitcher for the Rays is Grant Balfour coming on in place of Matt Garza. Balfour appearing in game number 54 on the season. He will face Rod Barajas to start the inning. So Garza, the last 5 innings, 103 pitches. 8 hits in those 5 innings, as you see Witt putting in the totals here. 8 hits, Witt, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Garza threw 63 out of his 103 pitches for strikes. And those 8 hits allowed match his season high. Garza had the best opponent's batting average against coming in, 227. He was just barely ahead of Josh Beckett in that department. So now the Red Sox right-hander should take the lead after the Jays end up with 8 hits today against Garza in 5 innings. Garza did a really good job working out of trouble and almost got through for the 5th inning as well, but a single by Vernon Wells on a close play at the plate. Aaron Hill scoring the lone run for the Jays.
Balfour on for the 54th time. The opposition hitting 241 off him.
Into right, Kapler drifts back in front of the track, makes the play. So Barajas is now fly to left, fly to center, and fly to right. That's a little interesting sequence for our viewers learning how to score the game.
Balfour just stayed fastball, fastball, fastball with him and got him on the fly ball to the opposite field. You see the line on Garza for the day. 8 hits and a run. It was earned. A couple of bases on balls and 7 strikeouts.
Very neat writing out there, Mr. Watson.
I would expect nothing but.
That Cornell penmanship. Pitch away to Inglet, 1-0. Joe Inglet, a single and a strikeout, 1 for 2. He was one of 7 strikeout victims for Matt Garza. So Garza will not be pleased with a no decision as he allows 1 run in 5 innings. He's probably not pleased that he only lasted 5 innings, but he did work his way out of a lot of problems today. It could have been one of those games where he allowed 3, 4, 5 runs, but he battled and battled and ended up only allowing the 1 through 5.
It was a battle right from the beginning with Scudero taking into 13 pitches to start the game. And he stayed with him and got him.
And that's where you can really get that pitch count rolling when that leadoff hitter sees 13 pitches. Garza ended up throwing 30 pitches in the first. One of the reasons he's out of there after 5. Balfour ahead of Inglet, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Called 3rd strike. First strikeout for Balfour, a strikeout for Rays pitching, 2 away here in the 6th.
Another mid-90s fastball from Grant Balfour. And Inglet caught looking. Well, that's a beautiful pitch right there on the outside part of the plate with plenty on it.
Another backwards K. Of the 8 strikeouts for the Rays, the last 3 have all been backwards Ks, which means called 3rd strikes. The first 5 were all swinging strikes. Marco Scudero backing out of the box and takes a strike, 0-1. Balfour working with the 0-1 count, misses away, 1-1. Balfour pitching the first time in this series. Rays have not seen their closer J.P. Howe pitch since the first game in Seattle. Joe Madden says he will some way, somehow get to the left-hander today. Make sure he doesn't go through another day plus the off day without seeing any action. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Scudero. There's a line drive into center field. Upton thought about going for the catch, but instead wisely backs off. That's a single, as Scudero now has 2 hits, and he's a 2-out base runner. Scudero continues to do his job, like Jason Bartlett, getting on at the top of the lineup. Speaking of getting on base, here's Aaron Hill. Walk, single, scored the only run, as he and Deanna Navarro had a pretty solid collision at home plate on a great throw from center by B.J. Upton. Ball for misses with the fastball, 1-0. Hill hitting his 28th home run in last night's game. That leads all second basemen in the major leagues. That's the most by an American League second baseman since Soriano hit 35 with the Rangers back in 2005. Check of the runner at first. This Blue Jays team does not run a whole lot. Marco Scudero has 8 steals and 12 attempts. In the air, shallow center, B.J. Upton will drift in. And he puts it away. Down go the Blue Jays in the 6th, leaving their 10th runner of the day. We are tied at 1. Presented by Hess Express continues on Saturday, August 22nd. Next Saturday when the Rays host the Texas Rangers on Country Night. Big and Rich will be performing a free post-game concert. Visit RaysBaseball.com to get your tickets today. Rays with another win on the concert night last night, defeating the Blue Jays by the score of 8-3 before the B-52's concert. Here's Willie Ibar taking a pitch from Zepchinski on the outside corner, 0-1. Mark Zepchinski, 5 hits allowed so far through 5.
Getting into Ibar's favorite part of the game here, Todd.
That's right.
Starting to get late.
He is a late inning featured player. He also doesn't mind the DH role. He's kind of very comfortable coming off that bench. All chopped foul, and he's down in the count to Zepchinski. 0-2.
Zepchinski's done a nice job. That pitch right there, again, that little slider that just with a little break to come in on Ibar. He thinks he's on it. He's just a little bit in and a little foul ball.
In the air, center field. Vernon Wells. Joe England converge. It's Wells. Makes the play for the first out here in the 6th. Gave Kapler his first time up with a runner on first. Would bounce back to the pitcher Zepchinski, who would start the 1. That's the pitcher's number as we're keeping score. To the second baseman Hill, who's 4 on the scorecard. To the first baseman Lyle Overbay, 3. And as you see from Whit Watson, that is a 2-out, 1-4-3 double play, the first and second outs of the inning. Kapler also was retired on a nice play by Edwin Encarnacion his last time up. Takes a pitch down low and inside for a ball, 1-0. You can see his 2 at-bats right there. Again, those are his at-bat numbers, 1 and 2, not the inning numbers in which he hit. He hit in the second inning and the 4th inning. Been a very sequential scorecard. It doesn't usually work out this way, but every odd inning has been led off by Jason Bartlett, and every even inning has been led off by Willie Ibar. So it's a very neat looking card. Doesn't always work out. with that kind of symmetry. 2-0 pitch ripped into right field. That'll be a base hit for Gabe Kapler. Hit number 6 for the Rays, and Kapler is a 1-out base runner. 5 of the 6 hits for the Rays have been singles. The 1 extra base hit for the Rays by Carl Crawford scored Tampa Bay's lone run. That'll bring up Tiana Navarro. He's hit the ball hard twice against Sepchinski. Reached on a 2-base error his first time on a shot through the legs of Encarnacion, and also singled his last time up. Navarro now 2 for 4, including that shot that went as an error in his career against Sepchinski in 2 starts. Pitch is away for a ball, 1-0. That was pitch number 100 from the Toronto left-hander, and on cue they get a little bullpen action. Jesse Carlson, the lefty. Both teams have had their opportunities in this 1-1 game. Toronto has left 10 on through 6, and the Rays had left 7 on through 5, batting here in the 6th inning.
And the Rays have had runners on base in every inning, and the Blue Jays every inning except the 2nd.
Navarro ahead of the count, 2-0, just like Gabe Kapler. Sepchinski working through the bottom third of the order for the 3rd time today. His high pitch count in his previous starts this year is 109. Right now he's at 101. Ground ball towards the hole. Scutero to Hill for 1. The relay scoop by Overbay. Great turn at second by Hill despite the takeout slide by Gabe Kapler. So Navarro grounds into an inning-ending double play, and we will head to the 7th, all tied at 1. Seventh inning, thanks to Heineken Light, you can have the chance to cheer where they can hear you. Upgrade your Rays baseball experience by winning premium seats right next to the action. For more information and to enter, visit the Heineken display at a participating retailer to enter. 7th inning baseball, here's Dwayne.
All right, thank you very much, Todd. Game tied, 1-1 on to the 7th, and Brian Schaus comes in from the Rays bullpen with the left-handed bats of Adam Lind and then Lyle Overbay do. Right-hander Wheeler is up in the bullpen, presumably for Wells. And Schaus is on for the 28th time. The 3rd Rays pitcher of this game. Brian worked in the Tuesday game in Anaheim, worked 1 inning. So he's in here against Adam Lind. Lind on today is 1 for 2 with a walk, and that pitch is a strike. First time that these two have matched up, Lind and Schaus. It's wide. 1-1. One ball game. Rays scored their run in the 3rd. Blue Jays scored a run in the 5th, and that's a comebacker. Schaus to Pena, 1-3 if you're scoring that one. The pitcher number 1 and the first baseman Pena in his position 3. We'll be with you the next telecast Tuesday when the Rays pick up more action on the homestand with the Orioles in. Our coverage begins at 6:30 on Fox Sports Florida. That game in high definition. Here's Overbay. Schaus throws him a strike. Overbay against the lefty here. His other at-bats had been against Garza. Garza struck him out 3 times. There's a chopper by the mound, charged by Zobrist. Throw to first, and Schaus gets Overbay. So a couple of ground balls here. 2 up and 2 down, and now Madden's going to continue to play matchup. Schaus gets the 2 left-handed bats. So Schaus does his job. A chopper back to the mound from Lind, and a chopper to second off the bat of Overbay. Back in a moment.
Pitching change, which gives us a chance to explain some more about scoring a baseball game. Here are the list of pitchers here for the Rays. We have not included the new pitchers yet. Notice that Schaus goes 2/3 of an inning. Sometimes you read a newspaper and you'll see a guy go 6.1 or 6.2 or 7.1. It's not actually 1/10. That means 1/3. In other words, 1 out or 2 outs of the inning. Sometimes confusing. In this case, for Schaus, 2/3 of an inning and goose eggs, which you like if you're the Rays.
Dan Wheeler on to face Vernon Wells, the right-handed hitter, and the first pitch is a fastball, a called strike. So Wheeler's on for the 50th time. 2 outs here with the bases empty. Wells got the base hit in the 5th inning that drove in the run, scoring Aaron Hill. Pitch in. 1-1. So Lind and Overbay, who had never faced Schaus, were out on bouncing balls. 1-1 the count here. Wheeler to Wells. And a fly ball back into right field. Kapler on the move is there to make the catch, and that retires the side. 1, 2, 3. We're in the middle of the 7th inning, and this game is tied 1-1. With the AT&T Rapid Rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Well, Witt continues to work over those scorecards out there. Now we're going to have to extend the bullpen part of that, the scorecard.
Especially with Joe Madden using his matchup bullpen. 4 slots is usually not enough.
Jesse Carlson's going to be the new pitcher for the Blue Jays, making his 53rd appearance, 1-5. With a 540 earned run average, the opposition hitting .277 against Carlson. The Rays here in the bottom of the 7th will have B.J. Upton, Jason Bartlett, and then Carl Crawford due up. 101 pitches for the starter Mark Zepchinski. The Rays scored their 1 run on 6 hits off him. And now it's Carlson. Well, here's Upton. BJ 0 for 2 today with 2 ground balls and 0 for 3 lifetime against this left-hander Carlson. BJ takes the first pitch for a ball. The Rays trying somehow to get the leadoff man on base. They've had runners on base in every inning. They've left men on base in every inning except the 6th. That inning ended on a double play ball.
Joe Madden looks at his lineup card. One of the reasons why he moved Upton when he was slotting him down in the lineup from 7 to 9 is for this situation. Potentially you have a lineup here with Upton, Bartlett, Crawford, LaToria that almost could be at the top of the lineup.
This one is down. 2 balls and a strike.
That's what his thinking was. You turn over that lineup, and on the occasion when Upton leads off, you've got everybody set up in really good positions behind your leadoff hitter.
And that's a little wide. So a good eye by Upton there to run the count to 3-1. And he pops it short center. Wells coming straight in, and he makes the catch. That will be the first out.
That's the count in the situation that BJ needs to improve on. When he gets ahead 3-1, he's got to really narrow his zone, and he's a little frustrated there as he went down and got that pitch and ended up not hitting it with authority.
Yeah, right there, he has an opportunity to be as selective as he has ever been. So he hits the little popper to center off the 3-1 delivery, and here's Jason Bartlett. The pitch is a little bit outside. Bartlett has been on base 3 times. Single in the first, he walked in the third, and the infield hit in the 5th inning. Carlson behind Bartlett now, 2-0. And a little soft looper out to second, caught by Hill, and Bartlett is out number 2.
Those are always interesting plays scoring, because you have your fly balls, you have your line drives, but those little in-betweeners, each person scores a little differently, but there's not an automatic F or L or what did we put there? F? Okay. There you go. A little soft line drive. How about that?
Carl Crawford shortening on the bat, drawing Encarnacion in from third. The pitch is a strike. In Texas, the Rangers are batting in the bottom of the 6th inning. They hold a 3-2 lead on Boston. It's high to Crawford. 1-1.
Big win for the Rangers last night after their really demoralizing loss in the first game.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Carlson in relief of Zepchinski. It's away to Crawford. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Carlson last work 5 days ago in the New York series against the Yankees.
He comes at you a little bit with that 3/4 delivery, not quite dropping down like Brian Schaus does, but that delivery can cause problems for lefties because he starts on that far side of the rubber close to first base.
And a swing and a miss. Crawford is out on strikes. So the Rays are up and down 1-2-3 for the first time. We're through 7, tied 1-1. And it's time for the Stay in the Game hold of the day, brought to you by Just for Men Hair Color. Rays bullpen, Balfour and Wheeler with 12 holes. Schaus has 7. Choate 5 and Howell 4. Just as middle relievers keep their teams in the game, you too can stay in the game with Just for Men Hair Color. Wheeler, who got the final out in the 7th, out to open the 8th inning. Randy Ruiz, the DH, leads it off. The first pitch is foul back. Strike 1. Slider to start him. Ruiz had an infield hit in the 4th inning. So he has 1 of the 9 hits. 1 for 3 on the day. And a cut and a miss. 0-2. Another breaking ball. Garza, Balfour, Schaus, and Wheeler. And a swing and a miss. Ruiz out on strikes on the tag by Navarro. So that's the first out here in the 8th. That's 9 strikeouts by Rays pitching. The Mercedes-Benz E-Class attention assist of the game. Encarnacion made this great play earlier in the game on a very hard hit ball. That was back in the 4th inning. Encarnacion up here batting in the 8th inning. The pitch up and in with a fastball. Encarnacion 1 for 3. He lined a single into left center in the 4th. Crawford has the RBI for the Rays, and Wells the run batted in for the Blue Jays. There's a strike. Fastball. It's 1-1.
Wheeler's been so good against right-handers this year. The Blue Jays are a right-handed dominant team. They don't have any lefties on the bench, and only 3 of their starters that hit left-handed.
And a breaking ball. He takes it for a strike. 1-2. You're really surprised when Encarnacion takes a pitch. Encarnacion is a very aggressive hitter. Now 1-2. And a high fly ball down the left field line, back toward the corner. Crawford all the way back, and he makes the catch in front of that low wall, and that got a little scary, especially with the low wall down the line. And Crawford stayed right with it.
There aren't many cheapies at Tropicana Field, but if you are going to hit a cheap home run, that's the corner. 315 feet from home plate and a low wall to boot. So you can get a lot of fly balls that are dangerously close to being home runs, and Crawford making a nice play there on a ball that, not sure if it would have gone over the yellow line, but was pretty close.
He put a little English on that, a little body English to keep it in the park right there. Here's Rod Barajas, the catcher. The pitch is down. 1 ball, no strikes.
In most ballparks, that's pretty routine, but here at Tropicana Field with that short left field foul pole, 315, it can get scary on those fly balls in the corner.
1-0 the count to Barajas. And there's a shot down to third, and what a pickup by Longoria. Throw to first, and a heck of a play by Evan. He had him shaded toward the line, defensing against the extra base hit. The ball hit hard, and here's the great pickup by Evan. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's a 1-1 game.
Lead of the order coming up: Longoria, Zobrist, and Carlos Pena. And we've got young Zach here, who's been paying attention as well as he possibly could. All right, the backward K on Longo. What does that mean?
It means a strikeout without the batter swinging.
Exactly, a strikeout looking. And Carlos Pena has ended innings 3 times, 3, 3, and 3. What we need are some more of these, the little colored in ones. Those are runs. See if the Rays can get some here.
Let's see what Evan Longoria can do about that. Longoria, Zobrist, and Pena against Brandon League, the new pitcher for Toronto. And the pitch is bounced foul outside of third. Evans singled in the 5th inning. Game has been tied since the 5th. Rays had a run in the 3rd to take a 1-0 lead, and Toronto a run in the 5th. And a high fly ball back into right. That's got some carry, but England's going to have room in front of the wall. He makes the catch as Longoria hit it a long way to the opposite field, but still playable for England.
Just missed it. He is a little upset. Lee can provide a lot of the power himself with that 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and Longoria didn't miss it by much. He was within a few feet of putting the Rays ahead.
Here's Ben Zobrist. That's a strike, and that's that split we talked about. When he has command of that, Brandon League can be very difficult because he's got a great arm to go with it.
49th game for League.
There's a liner, a broken bat, and it's going to fall in front of England for a base hit. Zobrist breaks his bat in half and has a base hit. He's aboard with 1 out in the 8th.
That bat ends its career with a little base hit there. Shatters in half, and Zobrist got enough of it. Almost hit it too well to get all the way out to England. Here's a look. He gets it off the very end of the bat. You can see the barrel just flying through the air there. It lands about almost 2/3 the way up the line, and England lays it on the hop.
Zobrist aboard for Carlos Pena. The shift is on. Carlos 0 for 3 today. A couple of fly balls to center field. And the pitch is down. A fastball. And boy, that's an easy 95 or 96 right there.
It's not a lot of effort. Ball just comes out live out of his hand. First time Pena ever faced Brandon League, he hit a home run. League's gotten him the last 2 times. This guy can bring it. Carlos Pena can hit a good fastball a long way.
Upstairs, 2 balls, no strikes. The opposition hitting .251 off League. And left-handers .263. He's just got a great arm. 2-0. It's foul the other way. A fastball out of play. 2-1.
He did allow that walk-off home run earlier this year to Pat Burrell. Burrell is available today as a pinch hitter. You're unlikely to see Joe use him as a righty against a righty.
There's a shot toward left center field. That's going to be in there. Zobrist hitting third. Foley's going to stop him at third on a double by Pena. And a nice job by Carlos Pena of taking that ball the other way toward the gap in left center field. Now the Rays have a major threat.
Career double, number 150 for Pena, and it is a laser beam. As you said, Dwayne, outside part of the plate, just absolutely rides the pitch in that direction. When Carlos Pena is hitting the ball hard to left center field, you know he's on top of his swing.
So it's second and third. Willie Ibar will be the hitter. Gross has already moved to the on-deck circle. He would hit next for Kapler. The infield is in with minutes second and third and one out. Time called here.
Cito Gaston may not want to pitch to Ibar. I think that's what he tried to get Barajas' attention.
And now they're going to walk him intentionally. And why wouldn't you? In this situation with first base open, you want to set up the double play possibility.
We have a new notation for Witt's scorebook. An intentional walk for the first time.
So this will load the bases. The Witt will record the intentional walk.
IBB, everybody was ready to go except for Cito Gaston. He said, wait a second, we're not going to pitch to Ibar here. Take my chances with the force play on with the next guy.
Now it's Gross to pinch hit. Came through with a pinch hit single in the game last night. Bases loaded, one out. Gabe 2 for 2 lifetime against League. Down at third base, Zobrist. Pena's at second. Ibar, the runner at first. And Gross takes it low. He checked in time. One ball, no strikes.
Take a look at Gross here. Does he hold up? Yeah, very, very close, but it looks like he holds up. His base hit last night against League. Line drive over the shortstop's head as he went with that pitch.
1-0 the count. That's a strike to Gross.
The infield being halfway played by the Toronto Blue Jays allows them the choice, if they do get a hard hit ground ball, to try and turn two through the middle. But if they feel like they only have one out, they're going to try and make the play at the plate.
And with the left-handed bat of Gross, the left side of the infield's a little closer than the right side. 1-1 the count. Swings over that one and now is down 1-2. Jansen down in the bullpen. They've used their only left-hander in the bullpen in Carlson. The 1-2 down, and it's blocked by Barajas. So that pitch down, that's the danger of that, but Barajas, a good job of blocking it.
Real nice job. That was a tough pitch to handle, as it was almost on the foot of Gabe Gross. It doesn't miss his front foot by much, and Barajas had to shift his weight in a hurry and got it right in the middle of the chest protector.
Takes the count to 2-2. And a foul ball to stay alive. But boy, that pitch out there had some dip on it away. So Gross spoiled the pitch.
Absolutely, Dwayne. That's a great foul ball right there. Who knows what's going to end up happening in this at bat, but to spoil that 2-2 pitch, there's a lot of lefties that are walking back to the dugout. Let's take another look at this. Watch how this pitch is diving away from Gross. I mean, that is a tough pitch to get a piece of, and he really went out there because that pitch starts on the outer part of the plate, and with 2 strikes you have to protect. Nice job by Gross to stay alive.
So after the conference between Barajas and League set to resume with the bases loaded, a 2-2 count to Gabe. Ball 3 down and in. So it's all the way out now.
Gabe is so good at knowing his strike zone in this situation too. A lot of pressure on. A lot of the fans are going to be standing on this pitch. Gross can just zone in right now. If it's not in the zone, Rays have the lead.
Bases loaded, 1 out. Tie game, bottom of the 8th. 3-2 the count. League delivers, and Gross stays alive with a little foul ball. And again, an off-speed pitch. So Gross will force League to make another 3-2 delivery here.
Great at bat for a guy who's been sitting on the bench all day. Tough situation coming in, bases full. First AB of the day going against a guy with the arm like League.
Going to be ready for the fastball and defend against the pitch you just saw. 3-2 again. And a foul ball again, and that was a fastball. So he has defended both of them and has stayed alive.
One of those at bats, you just appreciate the job Gross is doing here. He just keeps battling and battling against some tough pitches.
Gross back in. Ready with the third. 3-2 pitch of the at bat. Here it is, and a ground ball foul outside of first.
He's seen just about everything now with 2 strikes. That was the little splitter, and it had some good movement down. And Gross again spoiled a very good pitcher's pitch. League has made 2 or 3 pitches in this sequence that a lot of guys would have already struck out with. Watch the ball dive down. Late action on this split where it just dives at the last second, and Gabe staying alive.
3-2 again. And he strikes him out. He just swung over the top of that one as League picks up a very big strikeout here. That was quite a battle.
Occasionally a pitcher keeps making pitches, and that's the case for Brandon League. He throws another nasty splitter. Gabe stayed alive the last time, but he couldn't this time. That's a pitch that's hard to lay off, too. With 2 strikes, you're protecting the plate. Case where League made a lot of quality pitches, and Gross stayed alive as long as he could.
So a 10-pitch at bat. Well, that's what happens when a pitcher has that weapon. You have to defend against a fastball and pitches that wind up maybe out of the strike zone, but they're out of the strike zone just at the last moment. And now Zahn will come off the bench to pinch hit for Navarro. Greg Zahn to bat against League. And he takes a pitch low. 1 ball, no strikes to get the count running in his favor.
And now you've gone through a batter with 10 pitches, and League won that battle. So he feels like, okay, I can exhale a little bit. Now you have to regroup and go right back into another battle. So after that first pitch is on, he walked around the mound a little bit to regroup.
The 1-0, and that's down. 2 balls and no strikes. Navarro had been on twice, reaching on an error and a base hit, grounding into a double play. And against the right-hander, Zahn gets the call. And he takes the pitch for a strike. 2-1. Zahn connected in the 8th inning of Friday night's game at a home run down the right field line. Connecting on Roy Halladay. His 5th home run of the year, his first in a Rays uniform. And the veteran Bat has come off the bench here to take a couple of pitches and make Leake throw a strike. So it's 2-1 now. And ball 3 is down and in.
And Zobrist did a nice job right before the delivery. Just a little bit of a distraction. He hadn't moved off at third at all until that pitch, and then he started sprinting down the line. Maybe just caught the eye of Leake before that delivery.
Zobrist single, Pena double. Ivar was walked intentionally to load him. 2 outs, 3-1 the count on the pinch hitter Zahn. And he fouls this one right at his feet. That was a fastball, and the count is full.
Been a long 27 pitch inning for Brandon League. A lot of high leverage pitches in this inning. Fans worn out a little bit. Thought they'd be on their feet for that last pitch.
3-2 now. Zobrist third, Pena second, and Ivar at first. Zahn back in. League is ready. Another 3-2 count. And a high fly ball deep to right. England back. It is gone. Hard slam home run for Greg Zahn. On a 3-2 pitch, Zahn comes off the bench to deliver. And deliver he does. A grand slam. And the Rays lead 5-1. Oh, what a veteran at bat that was for Zahn. Patient to get the count running in his favor, and he delivers on the 3-2 shot. 5-1 Tampa Bay.
Well, Zahn against his former team, the Toronto Blue Jays. The majority of his home runs in his career have come against as a Jay, and now he does the trick against his former team. 3-2 pitch. He knew League had to come in with another strike, and he connected coming off the bench. What a big blast for Greg Zahn.
B.J. Upton, and he's hit by the pitch. And there is Jim Joyce laying down the law after the grand slam. Upton hit by the pitch.
Brandon League trying to say that's my breaking ball that got away, and that's what Cito Gaston's arguing. The timing doesn't look good. First pitch after a grand slam, and you've had pretty good control the whole inning, and now all of a sudden you hit B.J. Upton in the back. Let's take another look at the great moment for Greg Zahn. Not a terrible pitch, Dwayne, on the outer half of the plate, about thigh high. And he connects.
The M. Scott replay. Let's take another look. Might have been up a little bit more and caught a little more of the plate than he wanted. But I'll tell you, that was a great at bat by Zahn. It was a veteran all the way in a difficult spot. And he hits the grand slam. Well, Gaston makes the pitching change here after Upton was hit by a pitch. So a call to the bullpen. League is finished. We'll be back in a moment. Rays have taken a 5-1 lead. Brandon League out of the game. Casey Jansen in to face Jason Bartlett with Upton aboard at first, as the Rays now have a 5-1 advantage. Over to first, and Upton's back. A couple of things about the home run by Greg Zahn, that grand slam home run. That's his 5th career grand slam. His 4th career grand slam was here last September as a member of the Blue Jays when he connected off Troy Percival against the Rays. That's a strike to Bartlett. He has connected here against his former teammates, the Toronto Blue Jays. A pitch out, nothing doing, and the count goes to 1-1. So the Rays with 5 runs, 9 hits. Upton off first, and a base hit lined into center by Bartlett. He's on for the 4th time. That's his 3rd hit today. So Jason's over 340 now with these hits. Upton stops at second. Let's check in with Witt once again.
Well, real quick, let's look at the anatomy of that grand slam in terms of how we scored that. It starts off, Longoria flies out to right, Zobrist with a single, Pena with a double, the intentional walk to Ibar. Now Gross, who had subbed in the 8th inning, strikes out, and then Zahn, who subbed in the 8th inning as well back here with the grand slam. Color in the diamonds. There you go. 4 runs on the board for Tampa Bay, just like that.
Now Carl Crawford up here, and the pitch is a little high as he checked in time. So Zahn with his 4th and 5th grand slams involving these two teams. The slam last year, by the way, was in Toronto against the Rays, and hit one here today for the Rays against the Blue Jays. 1-1 the count to Crawford.
That slam was a walk-off against Troy Percival at Rogers Center. What a big spot. Always tough for a guy to come off the bench, especially a catcher. You're working the bullpen. You're not sure when you have to come down and get ready to hit. Zahn facing a guy he used to catch in Brandon League. Roy Halladay said he was going to fine himself in Kangaroo Court for giving up a home run to his battery mate.
It's a foul the other way. The count is 1-2. Yeah, the Rays, that was that 13-inning game the Rays lost in Toronto 7-4 when Zahn hit that grand slam. The 1-2. Crawford takes it wide. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That was a big home run, obviously, for the reason that it made it a 5-1 game, but also Joe Madden had already committed to using J.P. Howell in the 9th inning, and you never like to use your closer to tie game if at all possible. And the Rays very happy to hand over a lead to J.P.
And a foul back holds the count right there. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And not to be overlooked, Jason Bartlett kind of likes that leadoff role, huh?
Boy, he does. On 4 times today. And a swing and a miss. Crawford out reaching, and that retires the side. The Rays send 9 men to the plate. They score 4 on 1 swing of the bat. A pinch hit grand slam by Greg Zahn. We go to the 9th, 5-1 Rays. Ninth inning. Don't forget, you can join the 2010 season ticket priority list and ensure the best seats and get all the great benefits such as postseason ticket opportunities and savings over single game tickets. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com. Greg Zahn takes over behind the plate after delivering the pinch hit grand slam home run, and Gabe Gross takes over in right field after pinch hitting for Gabe Kapler. J.P. Howell is the new pitcher for the Rays, pitcher number 5.
J.P. Howell has not worked a game since a week ago Friday in Seattle on that walk-off home run by the Mariners. Felt like he was in his offseason going 8 days without pitching.
So it's Jose Bautista to pinch hit for England to open the ninth, and the first pitch from JP is a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. 2-0. So Wheeler worked an inning and a third, picked up a strikeout, and it gives way to Howell.
You're concerned with JP having all this time off. Is he going to be too rested, too strong, a little bit wild early?
There's a strike, and it's 2-1. Yeah, it's a fine line. He probably was in a situation where 3 or 4 days would be great for him. Well, it's extended a little beyond that. And he just misses here. It's 3 balls and a strike. Good thing about that is he's got a little cushion to work with now.
Right. That's a huge difference working with a 4 spot from Greg Zahn in the bottom of the 8th.
He comes back with a strike, and the count is full.
Before we complete our discussion on this scoring of the game today, how do you know when Barajas gets retired by Longoria on that nice play to end the 8th? I'll let you talk about it after this pitch.
Ground ball, shortstop, and Bartlett's there to make the pickup and the throw. 1 away.
So how do you know to find defensive play in your book? Like when Longoria makes that play on Barajas to end the inning, do you put a special notation?
Yeah, I'll put a little star.
Okay.
I actually put a little star back there, and if it's extraordinary, there might be more than 1 star.
I like that.
It's a star system.
Yeah.
And there is a star in my scorebook there in the frame that references that play by Longoria on the ball hit by Barajas to end the 8th. Here's Scudero hitting a high fly ball back into left, and that's going to get out of here. So that's where that margin comes in handy as Marco Scudero hits his 11th home run of the year on the first pitch. So that will make it a 5-2 game. And back out of the stands comes that home run ball as Scudero has his 3rd hit of the day, and this one a home run.
Here's another look. JP just leaves pitch up in the zone. Scudero's got good enough power. That's his 11th home run, and he takes care of it. What I was saying earlier about that home run, I mean, JP was in the game no matter what. You knew he was working on a lot of rest, and the series was in the balance. That was just such a big swing by Greg Zahn.
Pitch down to Aaron Hill. 2 balls, no strikes. So the hits are even at 10 apiece. It's 5-2 ball game now in the top of the 9th. And that's a little low to Hill. 3-0. Howell got behind Bautista, the pinch hitter, then came back full with him and got him on the ground ball. Hill will be taking, and the pitch is a strike. 3-1. And there's strike 2. JP coming back full on this count. Texas batting in the bottom of the 8th, holding a 4-3 lead on Boston. 3-2 the count. And Hill hits it foul outside of third. A fastball. Let's check in with Whit Watson and his big scorecard.
Well, to answer the question about 5 pitchers as opposed to 4 lines, just kind of fake it till you make it. We put JP down here on the very bottom edge. And Clem, our camera operator, asked a question. What happens if the guys bat around and you've got pre-printed numbers on the innings? It's really easy. We'll just fake this. You would just cross that out and make that the 8th and then continue on down the line.
Strike 3 called as J.P. Howell comes back to strike out Hill, looking all the way back from a 3-0 count. J.P. Howell comes right back to strike him out. 2 gone. That's the 10th strikeout for Rays pitching in this game, and that pitch started in and came back. That's something Howell does all the time, and boy did he get a big strikeout there. 2 gone. Here's Adam Lynn. The pitch is wide. Lynn has a single and a walk, officially 1 for 3. That's a strike. Did he go? He held up, says Adrian Johnson. 2 balls, 1 strike. Let's take a look, see what you think. I think that was probably a strike. He was across the plate. 2-1 now. He's out in front right there on the J.P. Howell changeup. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This crowd now looking for the final out. The Rays put 4 up in the 8th. They lead 5-2. The pitch is outside and low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Right there's an example of Zahn. Nobody on base, but he just gets out the block pitches correctly all the time. Does it as a matter of routine. Good for him, and it's a confidence builder in his pitchers. 3 balls, 2 strikes. JP's pitch. He got him. He struck him out. Throw him a changeup, and the Rays are winners. It's a 5-2 final. Grand slam in the bottom of the 8th by that man right there, Greg Zahn. The difference in this game, J.P. Howell closes it out. The Rays win the series. They take 2 out of 3.